The Denver Nuggets are surprising everyone right now. They literally just beat the Los Angeles Clippers in Game 6 to force a Game 7. Oh my goodness, a few days ago, they were in Game 5 facing elimination, and who would have thought they'd be in this scenario? When looking at all the many articles, the many predictions of who would win the series, everybody said it would be a clear-cut winner of the Los Angeles Clippers. But the fact that the Denver Nuggets are this close on advancing to the conference finals, eliminating the so-called best team in the NBA, I gotta change my background color to the blue to support the Denver Nuggets. Wow. The Denver Nuggets in the first round were down 3-1 to the Utah Jazz, and they ended up winning in Game 7. So now, everybody's talking about the possibility of the Denver Nuggets being the first team in NBA history that will come back from a 3-1 deficit twice in the same playoffs and still win. And in this video, we're going to be previewing Game 7 of the Los Angeles Clippers vs Denver Nuggets game, and I will also be telling you my prediction. And I guarantee you will like this prediction video. I'm telling you guys this right now. Nikola Jokic is the best center in the NBA. I don't care what the Joel Embiid fans out there are saying. I don't care what the Karl Anthony Towns fans are saying. Jokic, unanimously, in my opinion, is the best center in the NBA. And one thing's for sure, he's proving that right now. In Game 5 against the Clippers when they were down 3-1, he put up an amazing stat line of 22 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists, having some clutch plays down the stretch when they were almost about to lose. An interesting fact is that in Game 5, the Clippers were up 16 points at some point, and the Nuggets were able to come back through Nikola Jokic. In Game 6 previously, Jokic had a monster night, which was a crucial must-win in order to take the Clippers to Game 7. Jokic had 34 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists. Name me another big man in the league that can pass, that can crash the boards, that can be a great floor general, and also make clutch time shots, and can shoot the 3-ball at a pretty decent level. Name me another center that can do that. I'm pretty sure you can't tell me another big man like that. Nikola Jokic is on another level, and he's proving that right now. When an NBA analyst is asked about this series, people like Max Kellerman, Skip Bayless, Jalen Rose were quickly to answer and say that the Denver Nuggets will possibly get swept or lose in 5 games. But who would have thought this Denver Nuggets team can take the Clippers to Game 7 and could possibly win it? When talking about me being an NBA fan, I would love to see a Los Angeles Lakers and a Los Angeles Clippers conference final matchup, but you just gotta give the credit to the Denver Nuggets. They just seem to keep bouncing back. From what it looks like, the Nuggets play better when the odds are against them and when their backs are against the wall. We've seen this in the Utah Jazz series. They were down 3-1 and ended up winning in Game 7. And right now, they're currently in the exact same situation. The Denver Nuggets are coached really well by Mike Malone, and you can tell by the Denver Nuggets, they trust their stars of Jokic and Jamal and making them lead the team to the best scenario possible. And I just want to give some credit to one of the biggest factors to why Denver is still in this series, and that is due to the fact that they have multiple options on defensive on-ball situations. Having the versatility of Torrey Craig, Gary Harris, Jeremy Grant, and Paul Millsap, the Denver Nuggets can literally throw themselves at Kawhi Leonard and Paul George with multiple options. Going into this series, the biggest question was, who is going to stop Kawhi Leonard? And I believe the Nuggets have an answer for him. Of course, not completely stopping Kawhi, but slowing him down. He only had 25 points this game, and we definitely expect more from Kawhi. But I'm gonna be honest, the real question in this series is who is gonna stop Nikola Jokic? Who on the LA Clippers roster can slow him down? And from the looks of it, no one on the Clippers can do that. At the beginning of this season, when the Clippers announced their roster, I saw a few major flaws in their rotation. One of the biggest flaws that I saw is that they don't really have a floor general superstar, basically a player that can literally, boost the morale of the whole team. When looking at Kawhi Leonard as their best player, comparing Kawhi to someone like LeBron James, Kawhi doesn't bring that vocal aspect and that leadership that LeBron would bring. And from the looks of it, the best the Clippers have in that situation is probably Lou Williams. Another problem that I see the Los Angeles Clippers have is that they don't have a true stretch 5, and we can easily see it in this series. There's nobody at the center position that can stop Jokic. Right now, they're using Zubac to guard Jokic most of the time, and from the looks of it, Zubac just keeps getting eaten alive. Zubac is a young player, a very skilled player for his age, and while he does have a pretty good offensive ability, he's nowhere near great on the defensive level yet. And if the Clippers don't have an answer to Nikola Jokic with Zubac, they can't even go to Montrezl Harrell because he's too undersized and has clearly been a non-factor in this series and more evidently the whole playoffs. In Game 6, Montrezl Harrell literally only had 15 minutes and 5 points. The 15 minutes is pretty obvious because Doc Rivers cannot use Montrez in those defensive sets against Nikola Jokic. So in conclusion of this point, the Denver Nuggets just have a big advantage on the Clippers when it comes to that center position. Nikola Jokic is unstoppable. Another thing that the Clippers are doing a lot is they're playing Lou Williams in the clutch. Where Lou Williams is great offensively, the Denver Nuggets are using that rotation as something they can take advantage of because Lou Williams is horrible on the defensive side. He's very small and Jamal Murray can easily take advantage of him. Especially with Patrick Beverley always getting into foul trouble as quickly as possible, the Denver Nuggets are always being smart, making good plays, and using their pace on finding the best matchup possible. And when there's a mismatch, they always take advantage. In my personal opinion, I think the Clippers are a great team, but I do believe they're very overrated. The fact that the Mavs took them to Game 6 and now the Nuggets are taking them to Game 7, the Clippers aren't as good as we all think they are, and Doc Rivers is overrated as well. If the Clippers want to win Game 7, they're going to need contributions from Montrez off the bench to be an emotional factor. They're going to need Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to be amazing once again, and Lou will as well. And they're also going to need help from their role players of Marcus Morris and Patrick Beverley to be scoring factors. Paul George had an amazing Game 6 with 33 points, and Kawhi was great as well with 25, but the point that I'm trying to make is this. The Clippers need contributions from everybody because the fact that the Denver Nuggets have a bad matchup when it comes to guarding Jokic, the Clippers need to be outstanding and use their depth to their advantage because the Denver Nuggets don't have that offensive depth. On the Nuggets perspective, what they're going to have to do in Game 7 to win is play with all their heart. Play with a chip on their shoulder once again. They've been here before. They've been down 3-1, and I'm pretty sure they can do it again. A funny fact to know is that ever since Michael Porter Jr. said those words after losing Game 4 to make them go down 3-1 of how the Clippers are just a hard team to beat and the only way the Nuggets are going to beat them is if everybody gets involved, the Denver Nuggets have been winning. So shout out to Michael Porter Jr. Even though I didn't like that interview myself, it maybe put a spark on the Denver Nuggets. So far, this series has been a roller coaster, and I'm so excited to see what the outcome will be, but now let's move over to my prediction. It's honestly tough right now to say who will 100% be the clear-cut winner, but as I mentioned earlier in my other prediction videos, if I was to be offered $1 million on picking one team to win Game 7, and if I guess right, I will keep that money, I would put all my money probably on the Los Angeles Clippers winning Game 7. Listen carefully, guys. I actually want the Denver Nuggets to win. I love an underdog story. I love a comeback story. And I do think the Denver Nuggets have a chance to win Game 7. I think Game 7 is going to be an amazing game, a must-watch similar to the Boston Celtics and Raptors series. So everybody, y'all got to watch that game and be excited. But if I were to pick a winner, I would say that the Clippers are going to the finals and everybody wants to see the Battle of LA in the conference finals. But once again, I will be rooting for the Nuggets. I want Jokic to be successful in his young career, and so far, he's done great things. And beating the Clippers and eliminating them would make Jokic just much more valuable and be known as the best center in the NBA. But I want to know what you guys think. Who do you think will win Game 7? Do you think the Denver Nuggets can pull a big upset, or do you think the Los Angeles Clippers will easily win this Game 7? A lot of people believe the NBA is rigged. I don't think it is, but in some aspects, I do believe that the ratings of a Laker vs Clipper conference finals would be a lot better financially wise for the NBA. But still, we all thought it would be the Raptors and the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals, but it ended up being the Heat and the Celtics. So basically, anything could happen. A Denver Nugget upset would be amazing. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think, and let's start a conversation. But other than that, take it easy. God bless. I'll see you all in Game 7 on Easy Buckets. Woo!